The Transformers movies are a bit of a rollercoaster ride when you look at the series as a whole. These movies in general are all pretty atrocious, each installment feeling like it has to be bigger and better and bolder than the last. However, as bad as these movies may be, I absolutely love them, and I can only describe them as my guilty pleasures. So I think now, after the release of Transformers The Last Knight, it's time to rank them, so let's get into the video. Number 5. Revenge of the Fallen. After the success of the first movie, it was inevitable that it was going to get a sequel. Michael Bay decided he needed to make this movie even more funny, in inverted commas, more sexual, and of course, in Michael Bay fashion, more explosive. However, this movie is truly awful. I honestly cannot think of one redeeming quality. At least we got Devastator in this movie. Well, a big bulky robot with giant swinging testicles.
I am directly below the enemy scrotum.
Number 4. Age of Extinction. People thought with this one that maybe it'll be a new start. A fresh human cast, a new robot cast, and Dinobots. No, sorry, this one's just almost as bad. Now, this is slightly better due to Mark Wahlberg and also a great villain in Lockdown, but this still has a bad aroma around it due to a weak story and even worse action that is just full of random product placement that you just wouldn't expect, and it's just completely random over the top and just completely not necessary, but it's not as bad as Revenge of the Fallen, so there is that. Number 3. Transformers. This may be controversial, but here we go. This movie is probably the best of the bad bunch. This movie is a fine introduction to this franchise of giant talking robots. This film stands above the rest due to the fact that Michael Bay had the reins on him a little bit. There was less juvenile humour, less sexual innuendos, and less of Sam's parents, and we had not seen the Racism Brothers yet. This was a very good thing.
What are we gonna do with this shrimp taco?
I'm just bump a cap in his ass, throw him in the truck, and then nobody gonna know nothing on me.
Number 2. The Last Knight. This may change as time goes on, however right now I feel The Last Knight was able to stand out. It is what Age of Extinction should have been. The characters were a lot better this time around and the new additions were actually relevant and useful. However, this movie does really fall down in the third act, which places it just below the top spot, which allowed me to give it to the other film in the franchise that has not yet appeared on the list, just because that third act was really just not what the film needed and was a bit overblown and a bit messy. Number 1. Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon is by far the best in my opinion. It took all of the cringy stuff from the first two and removed it and instead focused on the good stuff. They replaced Megan Fox with Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, which was a great decision, and it was so good with all of the lore and the characters it had to deal with and the way it changed the ending of the book, which I actually thought changed it for the better. I will never ever tire of watching Dark of the Moon and it is by far my favourite of the Transformers franchise. So there you have it. My ranking of the Michael Bay Transformers movies. Feel free to rip me apart in the comments because I know my opinion here is going to be extremely unpopular. However, this is my personal opinion and you are entitled to yours as I am to mine. So tell me in the comment section below how you would rank the movies below. Thank you guys for watching.